G'day, I'm Paul. This is the BMW M2. I wanted to take you on a quick walk around of this today. We're not going to be doing any driving, but I'm going to give you a bit of an idea of what you can come to expect when this launches in Australia around April this year with a starting price of just under $120,000. Now, today it's all just going to be about the walk around, but if you do want to skip ahead to other parts of this video, you can use the time codes on the screen, or if you're on YouTube, you can scroll down and use the chapters below. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. That way you can find out every single time we do one of these videos. But let's get started with our M2 walk around. So let's start with exterior design. You've got 5 external colours to pick from. This particular colour here is called Zandvoort Blue. Kind of looks like the blue that Hyundai has on their N cars, and that hasn't really dated that well, but look, this does look okay, person. I guess the design of this was a little bit controversial. When they leaked the pictures, everyone was like, oh my God, is that really the M2? Yes, it is, but here in person, it actually has some pretty cool proportions because this is bigger, wider, lower than the outgoing M2, so it really has quite a stance, and it looks way bigger than what the M2 used to look like. The M2 used to be this tiny little thing. This is now a much bigger vehicle. So little bonnet hump there to contain the engine, and this big grille up the top and down the bottom there as well. I even love down the bottom here. Instead of that just being the floor of the bottom of the car, you actually have another cooling element there too. So they really have gone to town on cooling this engine as much as humanly possible. This is virtually an engine that has come straight out of the M3 and the M4. So it is a big old thing, and it comes with a lot of power and torque, which I'll run through in just a second. Here for Australia, if you order this up to a certain cut-off point and check with your dealer when that is, you'll actually get the BMW 50 years badge there as well, instead of just the standard BMW badge, which I think is cool. M2 down the front there. In terms of the headlight, you get full LED headlights here with an LED daytime running light as well. Whip around to the side here and let's have a look at these wheels. So they're a staggered design, so 19 inches up the front, 20 inches at the rear. Hidden beneath there is a whopper set of steel brakes, so 380mm cross-drilled. You have a 6-piston caliper up the front there, single piston caliper at the rear on a 370mm rotor. Like that design as well, so you get a piano black finish there. There is one other wheel design available as well. Another BMW 50 years badge there too. Jump up the top here. Love this design as well of the wing mirror. So typical M design, you have that little cut through there for aero. Indicator built into that wing mirror. This is the first time that M2 gets a carbon roof, so that lowers the centre of gravity and also reduces the weight ever so slightly as well. Have a look at this at the back. That wheel arch protrudes so much, and if you look at it straight down the line of the front there, front is wide as well. The back just has some absolute hips to it, which is really cool. So whip around to the back here, I'll show you what this looks like. Now around the back here, oh, by the way, we did a walk around of the BMW XM as well. So if you want to watch that video, go to the description below for the link. So up the top here, you have a pretty subtle looking boot lip spoiler. I do hope that when the M parts roll around, you'll be able to get some enormous spoiler here and maybe some enormous exhaust pipes, similar to what we had in the M4 competition when we reviewed that recently. You can watch that video by clicking up there. So another BMW 50 years logo up the top there, M2. Have a look at these exhaust pipes. So they're lifted from the M3 and the M4 as well, 100mm in diameter. They are absolutely enormous. You get a piano black diffuser down here as well. Really is quite a meaty look at the rear here. These vertical slats that integrate parking sensors in there as well. So let me know what you reckon about the design in the comments section below. I know I'm telling you that it looks good here in person, but do you think that it actually looks good? Have you seen one in person? Let me know what you reckon down there. Oh, and by the way, do you want to hear what this sounds like when it's revving? Here is a little clip that I took on my phone when we were shifting the car. Okay, let's talk engines. Probably one of my favourite engines out there, but 3-litre twin turbocharged 6-cylinder petrol engine. Look at that. Love these braces as well. It is some absolute meat there, and there is a reason for that. If you go for the carbon experience, which I'll show you once we're inside the car, this has its speed lifted from 250 to 285 kilometres an hour, so you need to keep some of that restrained. I don't know how you actually lift the engine cover off though with that brace in place. There must be some magic wizardry to be able to do that. But yeah, in terms of power and torque, a little under 350 kilowatts of power, 550 newton meters of torque, and you can get this with either a 6-speed manual or an 8-speed automatic transmission. Both of those go to the rear wheels. The auto is also a no-cost option as well. So kind of seems like a no-brainer. In terms of 0 to 100, it is slightly quicker with the auto. It's just over 4 seconds and about 0.2 seconds slower with the manual as well, which is still pretty impressive. You're still getting about as much acceleration, even if you do opt for 3 pedals as well. Let's jump inside the cabin. I'll show you what it all looks like. So we're inside the cabin. I think this kind of suits me. Anyway, so you have a curved display up the top there. Now, this is going to keep switching off because the battery is pretty much dead on this car. It's a pre-production car. But the curved display has a 15-inch screen over on the left. It is a colour touchscreen, so you can control it with your finger, or alternatively, you can use the iDrive controller down the bottom here. And then ahead of the driver here, you have a screen that's just over 12 inches in size. M2 now has head-up display as well, yay, to the owners that were always complaining about that. Look at this. Love this gear stick. In fact, just the shift is so nice. Cannot wait to take this for a drive. It feels really cool. So 6-speed manual there with reverse off to the side. A little bit of carbon around the edge here. So I mentioned before the M Carbon experience. So that's what's fitted to this car. It's about $15,000. So that gives you these bucket seats with the carbon fiber around the edges there. Have a look at this as well. So I have removed this. Basically, the headrest comes out. And the whole purpose of that is if you're driving with a helmet, it gives your helmet a spot to nestle into, and it means you're not resting your head forward like that. It all uses a couple of little hex screws and it comes out. So really great idea. And then you have these slots here as well. If you do decide to fit a roll cage to the car, you can actually just feed seat belts through there as well if you have something like a 4-point harness. So it is configured as a track day weapon, and this is the type of stuff that BMW really does think about when it comes to service its clients. So other cool features here, more carbon along the top there. I really do like this display. In addition to the M buttons here you have on the steering wheel, you can also then use things like the drift analyzer and variable traction control. And we actually demonstrated this when we shot our M4 competition video when it was wet. So actually check that out because that was so much fun. And the fact that you can do all of that here with the car, I think is pretty unreal there in terms of that technology package. Outside of that, it feels just like any other 2 Series, which I think is a good thing. And this technology really brings it into the modern age, especially for the price that you're paying for this. It's priced at just under the entry level of a Porsche Cayman. And that is quite some car you're going to be able to get there. But keep in mind with Porsche, you've got to spend bucket loads of money on options to actually make it feel like a civilized vehicle. You do have back seats there. The wheelbase has been extended a little bit. This is what it looks like when I'm sitting in the back there. The room is actually far better than I thought it would be. And I think it is robbed just a little bit because of those seats. So if you do plan on carrying people in the back there, probably don't go for the carbon seats. So anyway, that has been a really quick look and a walk around here of the new BMW M2. It's going to be launching in Australia around April with a starting price of just under $120,000. I am very, very keen to take this for a bit of a spin and see exactly what it feels like behind the wheel. So if you did enjoy this video, please make sure you like it and you share it with your mates, and let me know in the comments section below, what do you reckon about the M2? Have they done enough here to make it special enough for the price tag? I'm very keen for your feedback. Do you own an M2 now? Are you going to be upgrading to this? Let me know what you reckon down there in the comments section below. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon as well. But until next time, take it easy.